Oh, hello. Yes, I know this video is a little long, but I will give you proof of my arrest and story. So there is a YouTuber that made an expose video on me and said that I lied about being arrested. And he did throw a bunch of false accusations and assumptions. So let's just prove him wrong while I give you proofs in the way. I do have a paper that can prove what I went through. I will reveal it through the video with other stuff. The sad thing about this video is that people ain't gonna care to watch it fully to see all of my proofs. So most likely I will continue getting falsely harassed because of the false claims I disproved here. I tried my best to shorten the video to 20 minutes long. It could have been 40 minutes long. Also, bro accused me of ghosting him when he wanted to get a clarification. While he didn't even try to contact me. He didn't send a message. I actually messaged him first. His excuse was that my DMs were closed and we shared 0 mutual servers. And that's false, because he entered my Discord server and left before he even messages me. He did say, messaging in your server was locked, and that's wrong, because it has been open for years. And I have been receiving messages, requests from fans from it for years. He could even ping me in my server, but he didn't even try. He could have tried to contact me through my Discord admins, and he didn't. So I'm not sure how I ghosted someone who didn't even try to contact me. All what bro did is send a friend request, not an actual attempt of trying to contact me, and he says I ghosted him. I'm a YouTuber, bro. I get a ton of friend requests daily. I don't have the time to review them, and even if I do, I obviously won't notice a YouTuber I don't know. So him saying I ghosted him is a lie. Then bro started to act like a deductive, bossing around asking for proof and evidence, as if he didn't already make a whole video attacking me falsely. So I told him I will respond in a video, and here is the video.
So recently, there's been a pretty big situation going on with the popular Roblox YouTuber UltraHands, who has around 500,000 subscribers. Over the past few weeks, he has uploaded multiple videos claiming that he was arrested and sentenced to 6 months in jail. As a result, many people have been donating large amounts of money to him, despite there being no conclusive evidence confirming these claims are actually true.
Excuse me, did you say many and large in the same sentence? Bro, the video barely started and he's already slandering me. Let's see how many donations I got since I activated the Super Thanks feature a year ago. You can count them on your hand. All the donations I got from my accident are about $131 after I converted all the currencies to US dollar. Most of them are from one person. Ironically, I have never got this big of a donation before, because I don't ask for money or donations. $100 only after tax earned in an entire year with the fact that my accident videos are only 25 days old is crazy. So basically he's lying when he said, I'm getting a lot of donations because of my videos. So nah, bro, I'm not doing this for donations. Didn't ask for donations in my videos to begin with. That's what I actually said. If you want to donate, you're free to do so by the Super Thanks feature. You see it by scrolling left and right near the title or description, but you aren't required to do so. I'm not doing this video for donations. The support I have been getting from the comments is plenty. Anyways, I will keep on grinding, I guess. So about being accused of not being arrested or deported and whatever, let me show you something. Let me show you how a YouTuber with 500,000 subscribers is living right now. Here's my room. Let me show all the wannabe detectives here my channel on my gaming laptop. What I showed you here might reveal where I live or my identity to the people I know in real life. But what can I do while I'm being harassed falsely of being a liar? So that's my room tour in my home country that I got deported to. I can imagine the haters saying it's AI or something dumb. Now some will say, you never were in Turkey in the first place, stop lying. Look at this, bro. Here's my Roblox account from 2017. Has Turkish number and account location is in Turkey. And now, some will say you are still in Turkey, you just live in a crappy house. So you telling me a 500,000 subs YouTuber who was uploading for 8 years will live in tiny room that barely can be called a room in an advanced country? So the thing with proving myself is that it will never really be enough to those who just don't want to believe and cause problems, because haters gonna hate. But through the video, I will show more proof anyways.
Started with his first video. In his first video, UltraHands claims that while he was going to a grocery store in Turkey, he was suddenly stopped by 3 men in a van who identified themselves as police. According to him, they were not wearing. The title of his first video states that he went to prison and got sentenced for 6 months. That is an extremely serious accusation. Being sentenced means a judge reviewed a case, reached a verdict, and officially ordered jail time. But here's the issue. Across all 3 videos, UltraHands never once says that a judge sentenced him, a court found him guilty, or that a trial even ever took place. Instead, in his own words, he explains that the 6 months was a hypothetical risk, not an actual punishment. In his second video, UltraHands says that his lawyer warned him that if he chose to fight the case, he would have to stay locked up for up to 4 to 6 months while waiting for a trial, and if he lost, he could face jail time. Because of that risk, he says he chose deportation instead. That means, by his own explanation, he was never sentenced to anything. There was no conviction, there was no prison sentence, and there was no 6-month jail term. Yet that hypothetical warning was presented to viewers as a confirmed sentence. That alone makes the title of the first video extremely misleading. The next exaggeration comes from how the word prison is used. UltraHands repeatedly says he went to jail or prison. However, when he actually describes the places he was held at, they're a police holding cell, a foreign detention facility, and a deportation center. These are not prisons in a legal sense.
Yes, I didn't go to court to get judged because these stuff takes months to go through, not days. I will be detained and locked 4 to 6 months to even a year in the deportation center, which is basically a prison for foreigners to get deported. It may not be an actual prison like the movies, but it functions exactly like a prison. Same experience, same living conditions, same treatment. You can ask AI the similarities between a deportation center and a prison in Turkey. I could do it and show you, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. In these places I stayed in, they treated us like slaves by screaming, controlling when we sleep, and etc. It's like prison with no crime committed. It's like we are straight-up dogs. So don't call me out and blame me for calling it a prison in the title. Even with this fact, I did clearly say I was locked in the deportation center in my videos. So I didn't lie about this. Instead of releasing me, they lied to me and to my family, and they sent me to a place where they put all foreigners of all countries in one place. There's people from Russia, China at least. Me and other people there got called out to be released finally, what we thought was happening. Instead, they took us to another place, the deportation place. And the only time I referred to them as prison in my videos was in the first video title, and that's it. So you saying that I kept referring to the place as prison is false. I rewatched my videos just to make sure, even though I don't need to. Also, yes, in the third video only, I did use the word jail instead of locked or detained, but it means the same thing, my guy. Jailed, aka a jail, a place you can't get out of. Don't come here playing with words acting smart. But let's play your game. Here's AI comparing the difference. Looks like the word jail fits more, but chill, don't get sad if it annoys you. I will use the word detained just for you. Both basically means locked up in the end. And these places are like jail anyways because you can't get out. So basically I was jailed, or you can call it detained. So basically in this deportation place, they have the right to lock you up for 6 months, even up to a year for various reasons, includes court and legal action to go through. Basically they pressure people to sign for deportation faster. And my lawyer told me my chance of winning isn't good because my chances as a foreigner to win against the police is near impossible. And if I lost in court, there is a high risk of going to prison for 6 months and then get deported anyways. And even if I can win in court, I can't handle staying locked up for 6 months to a year in a place when it is as bad as prison just to wait for court. And we have something called a lawyer. He tells the risks of the situation and what could happen. In my case, it was to get deported to avoid an actual prison sentence because trying to win a case against the police, who falsely accused me of attacking them, isn't a good option. So even though the 6-month prison sentence isn't official since the court didn't come, it doesn't mean everything I went through is fake. So accusing me of lying about everything just because of the video title doesn't mean I'm lying to get your money or whatever this guy is saying. And yes, I admit, the first video title is a little misleading because we YouTubers like exaggerating our titles. But I didn't lie about anything I said in my videos.
These are not prisons in a legal sense. These are immigration detention facilities. That doesn't mean conditions can't be bad, but it does mean that the situation is being framed as something far more extreme than what he actually describes. This becomes even clearer in his third video where he corrects viewers and says he was deported, but not currently in jail, while still continuing to refer to the experience as a prison. So on one hand, he corrects people for taking the title literally, but on the other hand, he continues using the same exaggerated language that caused the confusion in the first place.
Another thing that I need to mention is that in my first and second video, I did mention that I got deported clearly. So here I made up my mind to just get deported. I can't live with no phone or Wi-Fi living like animals. And even getting deported ain't easy. It took days. The amount of videos I missed to do is insane. And I'm able to make this video because I'm in my home country now. I am right now. So getting deported was the best option. My home country is very poor and full of wars and... But as in my third video, I had to mention it a third time because some people don't watch the videos long enough or don't pay attention. Don't put the blame on me for those who has a short attention span being unable to watch a video fully. And obviously, I can't write my whole story in the title if it's the only thing they will read. It's a whole long video for a reason. It's not okay to just judge and assume something from reading a title without actually viewing and watching the video. You can't just read a title of a book and say that you finished the book without opening it and reading it fully.
So on one hand, he corrects people for taking the title literally, but on the other hand, he continues using the same exaggerated language that caused the confusion in the first place. Another major issue is the timeline. UltraHands claims that he was locked up for around 10 days, transferred between multiple facilities, deported to another country, and then released. However, when you look at his upload history, his previous video was uploaded on November 18th. The sentence for 6 months video was uploaded on November 27th. That's a 9-day gap, and we're not even including the time it took to edit his video. That's a 9-day gap. Within that window, we're supposed to believe he was detained, moved between 3 facilities, dealt with lawyers, got deported internationally, settled into a new living situation, and immediately returned to frequent uploads. Now,
The only thing he said right so far is the 9 days part. Great discovery. So I'm sorry guys, I got the amount of days wrong. And don't worry about how long the video took to make. It took 2 hours. And yup, all these stuff happened in these 10 days or 9 days. It's how fast they work. It's called fast track. Here's more about it. So, if you did bother to read the picture, it explains how this fast process is normal and possible. So what you said is straight up lack of knowledge? You don't know the Turkish government? Not everything in the world is like where you live.
UltraHands never names the country he supports, but based on his descriptions, a country affected by war, severe electricity shortages, water issues, and every passport, there are only a few realistic possibilities. Maybe Afghanistan, Yemen, or Syria are one of the that match the most. But keep in mind, it's just an assumption, not a national economy. But what matters here, and my point in bringing this up, is distance and logistics. For example, Turkey to Afghanistan is roughly 3,600 kilometers, and even under normal circumstances, international deportations involve detention processing, paperwork, transport, and handoff between governments. That process alone often takes days, not hours. So when you factor that in, the idea that all this happened in a single, supposed 9-day upload gap falls.
No, bro. Self-paid deportation do exist. If you have a lawyer or a family member to help you and buy you a plane ticket, which fasten up the process by a lot. I just sign for deportation and get escorted to the plane. Simple as that. Of course, the authority in the other country airport get informed in advance. Plus, I did mention that it took days to get deported. That's because I made my decision early. It didn't happen all in a day. But you do love ignoring what I say in my videos and continue to make statements on things that has been cleared up before in my videos.
Immediately by daily or even multiple daily uploads doesn't really match how extreme he made the situation sound. That timeline is not just tight, it directly contradicts the scale and seriousness of what the viewers were led to believe.
That just shows how much I love YouTube and my fans. That's without mentioning how the amount of support I got in the comments boosted my morals. Was I supposed to cry and dwell on my sadness while leaving my channel to die without uploading? Bro, uploading is what I did for 8 years, and it's all what I could think about doing the whole time I was locked. I didn't take a single break for 8 years. Nothing stopped me from uploading in my worst shapes beside getting locked. You think in these 8 years I never got sick or went to the hospital or was very busy at some point? You guys wouldn't know because I never shared something about my life until now. And ironically, when I shared something, a poophead YouTuber came out slandering me.
Another problem, UltraHands repeatedly claims he was locked up without a phone, but across his videos, he also admits that the police gave him his phone to turn off his alarms, he heard alarms going off regularly, he used WhatsApp to leak his location, and that he made phone calls from detention centers. That means he did not have zero phone access.
If bro can use his brain, he would disprove his own points. Bro want me to say everything I already said in my videos. Me having access to my personal phone was very limited. Few seconds at max when I was at the police station, before I was getting transported to any of the other places. Like, for example, how the police gave me my phone for a second to stop my quiz type of alarm, then took it back. My alarm app has a prevent power off option, he can't shut off the phone. Many details are in my videos that the poop-tuber likes to ignore to continue making false accusations on me. Also, yup, the detention center has payphones just like this one in the picture. And this isn't a secret because I mentioned it in my video, but you made it sound like I lied and as if I had access to my phone 24 hours. What a shame, bro. And to use this crappy payphone, you need to buy a card from an inside market that opens for 2 to 4 hours. And to make one phone call, you have to stand in line for 2 hours minimum for your turn. Because there are a ton of people. And yes, they let us keep our money if it isn't much. So we are able to buy their overpriced snacks. And relatives are able to send a limited amount of money to the people locked in. So we do have a limited access to cash. I actually still have this card. I will show you it through the video. I never knew it existed until I got locked up. Who uses payphones anymore anyways? They went extinct. So I straight up have no reason to own this card for those who will already accuse me of lying.
Most, his access was limited or controlled, yet he continues to frame it as complete isolation, which again exaggerates the situation beyond what he actually describes.
Nah, bro, I wasn't exaggerating. It's as bad as I said in my videos. But who are you even to decide? Were you the one getting attacked and locked and the one who experienced all of the stuff I did? Nah.
And finally, in his third video, UltraHands makes something extremely clear. The thing that affected him the most was not the legal situation, the danger, or even the alleged. It was missing uploads. He explicitly says that missing 10 days of videos mentally crushed him more than the conditions he was held in. He then immediately resumes daily uploads, sometimes even multiple daily uploads. That behavior directly contradicts the idea that his life was completely destroyed or that he might quit YouTube. Instead,
oh no. Let me give up instead and cry about it in the corner. Sorry for not having a weak mentality, bro. God forbidden a man who likes uploading videos.
Turn to normal content output. Now, speaking personally for a moment, if I had gone through something like what UltraHands describes in these videos, like, for example, being beaten so badly that my face was supposedly blue and swollen, missing a few Roblox uploads would be the last thing on my mind. If so...
Bro, don't compare yourself to me. I actually felt offended.
was really to that extent, you wouldn't expect them to instantly jump back into daily uploads. You'd expect hospital visits, recovery time, rest, or at the very least some kind of pause to physically and mentally heal. Instead, what we see is an immediate return to uploading, sometimes even multiple times a day. That doesn't really line up with the level of trauma he claims to have gone through.
Sorry, bro, but I'm not your average person. Yeah, I suffered a lot while being locked up, but YouTube is what calms me down. Just like how people are addicted to smoking. Sorry for posting too much videos, guys. I was supposed to quit, apparently, and go homeless without a job because I got locked up for 10 days. And I'm very sorry for doing what I love.
From a serious situation, and more like someone rushing to get back into content as fast as possible. And because of that huge sudden return, it makes me seriously question the validity of his claims, especially when his video shows no actual evidence to support what he's saying. It's literally just an AI voice over Roblox gameplay with some anime music in the background. Despite that, a lot of people blindly believe him. The video pulled in around 400,000 views and nearly 19,000 likes, and many viewers even sent in donations based purely on his story.
Bro is jealous because I got a $100 donation. Don't worry, bro. I will give you more proof. Let me first hear the rest of the video slander.
I want to clarify, this isn't about attacking UltraHands personally or denying that something happened to him. The issue here is how the situation was presented to his viewers, because there is a massive difference between being detained and deported and being sentenced to 6 months in prison. Those aren't interchangeable, and presenting them as if they are completely changes how people understand the situation. When you tell your audience you were wrongly sentenced to 6 months in prison, people are going to react emotionally. They're going to feel bad for you, they're going to want to help, and in this case, they did through donations. That's why accuracy matters, because people didn't donate based on a verified fact. They donated based on a story. And again,
Bro talks like I got rich out of this. Bro, foreigners and citizens get treated differently in Turkey. When foreigners commit a crime that isn't huge, or they get accused falsely of committing a crime like in my case, they get sent to the deportation center until they get prosecuted or get deported. In my scenario, it was harder and more complicated. Because it's against the police, a court, and a case isn't in my favor. So I choose to get deported before things get more serious.
How serious these claims are, there's still no evidence shown. No paperwork, no court documents, no hospital records, nothing. Just narration made by AI over gameplay. So,
bro, I got deported wearing slippers. They ain't giving me any you are talking about. And do you seriously expect me to be like, oh, hello guys, here's all my documents and personal info, please believe me now? Bro wants me to dox myself. I actually don't have to prove anything just because of people like you. But sadly, sometimes wrong people like you have a following and an influence, which forced me to reply. So, I do actually have one paper that they let me keep. And this paper do include my name, age, and other info. It's the only paper I have. So I will hide the private info and show it. Also, nah bro, this isn't from Google. You can try to search it up everywhere, you won't find it. So if you guys won't believe this, then I don't know what you will believe. It's a carbonless copy paper that when you type on the top paper, the font shows up in the second paper below it. That's why the font is a little plain. I have the underneath one. This paper, to understand it, you gotta put it in AI and ask. So here, I did it for you.
At this point, everyone watching has to ask themselves a simple question. Were the viewers even ever told the truth, or were they told the most dramatic version of events as possible? Based on UltraHands' own words across these 3 videos, the story changes so many times, the details constantly shift, and the most serious claim, being sentenced to 6 months in prison, literally evaporates by the 3rd video.
My guy is making stuff up. Nah bro, the story isn't changing every video. Every video I made talks about a different side of the story with extra details. Straight up, nothing changes. And the 3rd video was simply clearing and answering some question. I don't have to repeat the whole story in detail every single time. Be logical and put some sense in your mind. I know you aren't that stupid, you just acting like one.
When the story falls apart under its own explanations, it's fair to question if it was even honest to begin with. And just to clarify something here, if it ever turned out that UltraHands knowingly lied or deliberately exaggerated key details of the story while accepting donations, that would just be a YouTube issue. In many countries, including the United States, which is actually where his channel is supposedly based on, intentionally collecting money based on false or misleading claims and falling under fraud-related charges, depending on the intent and jurisdiction. In serious cases, those charges can carry significant penalties, including large fines and long prison sentences. In some cases, far more than 6 months. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening here, and how the investigators are forced to decide, but it does show why accuracy matters when you're telling a story like this and accepting money from viewers. And the reason I'm bringing up his channel being linked to the United States is because YouTube's terms of services actually follows the law. So UltraHands could, if he's not going to be sued or arrested, then he might lose his YouTube channel for lying here. Now, before I end off the video, UltraHands, I want to give you an opportunity because I know you're probably watching this video. So by all means, do feel free to clarify what's going on here and why your story keeps changing, because it's looking really suspicious, and I personally think that this whole thing is just some kind of really desperate attempt at reviving your channel.
If you guys made it this far into the video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and share it around.
Make sure the people who watch UltraHands video actually see the situation from another side. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
The only thing changing is your brain cells. It went down from 2 to 1. Bro thinks I made millions or something out of donations. I didn't even ask for donations. Also, no guys, I'm not from the United States. This is a setting that I can change at any time. I can pick any country I want. But since my audience is mostly from USA, I have it set to USA. I already cleared this up in my 3rd video, but this man likes to act blind and repeat stuff. Bro is even asking us to subscribe, share, and like the video. I never asked you to do any of these in my 3 videos about my story. Clearly shows the difference between me and this man. Anyways, that's it for the video. Let's see if this man will have any dignity and shame, or if he will continue lying by twisting my words and talking without knowledge. Most likely the second option, because it's the kind of man he is.